And now to get you more on this, I'm joined by lead India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh, straight from Cyprus. Good afternoon from India, Shubhendu. When we look at today's joint press statements, it holds a lot of promise, a lot of commitment and a lot of progress too. Take us through the main highlights of the joint presser that we just saw, Shubhendu.
Absolutely, Deepika. Lots to take in as far as the joint statements by the two leaders are concerned. Perhaps one should begin with the manner in which both the countries and Prime Minister put it in these words that democracy and respect for international laws and regulations forms the foundation, the pillars of the relations between India and Cyprus. As was expected, diverse areas in which the convergence, in which the cooperation is going to be taken forward. There is a roadmap that is being referred to, a roadmap for about 5 years, where the priorities, the strengths of both the nations can be in focus, particularly in the domain of trade and investment. We also saw that there is an expansion of cooperation in the domain of defense and security. Cutting-edge technology such as artificial intelligence is also in focus. In fact, if I could just refer to the business meet that took place yesterday, where leaders from the corporate world had engaged from both India and Cyprus. There's a great focus on artificial intelligence and the manner in which India is making important strides, and Cyprus and India could be very key partners in this domain. So in that sense, huge potential that is opened up with Prime Minister and President's interaction that happened today. Taking forward also, there is a way to push the people-to-people connect, the people-to-people ties between both the countries. What was also visible for everyone to see was the kind of bonhomie, the warmth that the two leaders shared for one another. We saw an example of it when President of Cyprus in person, which is rare, had reached the airport to receive Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And today when they spoke, they clearly spoke in one voice over the issue of terrorism, over the issue of territorial integrity, over the issue of sovereignty, and said that India and Cyprus stand together in issues of geopolitical, global and bilateral concerns. So a very positive, forward-looking and a meeting and statements that strengthen the already close ties between India and Cyprus. Deepika?
Shubhendu, they also talked about the FTA, India-European Union FTA, and the successful completion of this by the end of this year. And not only this, the India-Greece-Cyprus Business Council has also been created. Throw some light on these important aspects from business point of view.
That's right, Deepika. There's tremendous amount of optimism as far as boosting trade and investment relations are concerned, not just between India and Cyprus, which is taking a good forward momentum, but we also have to see Cyprus, and Cyprus also looks at itself as a port of entry to Europe. India and EU negotiations and FTA, free trade agreement negotiations, are at an advanced stage. Prime Minister did mention that there are expectations of concluding it as early as this year. Now, Cyprus also is going to be taking over the presidency of the Council of European Union. That, in simple terms, means that India will have a great friend leading and steering the agenda as far as the European Union is concerned. And in that sense, there is a great degree of optimism about business relations, about business interactions, engagement between investment firms. Europe would want to access the huge India market. Indian talented workforce would want opportunities, want to expand their startups and businesses, and not just Cyprus, but through Cyprus to the world. And there is a very specific India-Cyprus-Greece Business Council that has also been taken up. We know the relations between Greece and Cyprus, they look at one another as like sister countries with a common Greek culture and background. And with India as a partner, there is a great degree of optimism in both these countries, Cyprus and Greece, that they could act like a gateway to Europe, and the progress that India has made in digital infrastructure, in particular in financial markets, in particular in digitizing the economy. Those are certain strengths that the world is looking at. In Cyprus and Greece, their businesses, their startups, the young talent could in fact have greater opportunity to come together and engage.
And also talking about on day 2, Prime Minister Narendra Modi being accorded with the highest honor by Cyprus's president. Isn't this a testament of how successful this visit has been so far for India and for Cyprus, both the countries?
Absolutely, Deepika. The most special moment was the honor that was accorded on Prime Minister. Remember, this is the highest honor that is accorded, named after the first president of Cyprus, Archbishop Makios. So in that sense, it also is a testimony of the manner in which Cyprus looks at India, Cyprus looks at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, the manner in which Prime Minister has been able to steer and also present India's perspective, India's stand on a lot of key issues very clearly. Cyprus in particular said that it appreciates the kind of support that India has provided on the question of territorial integrity and sovereignty. And I think those are very, very sensitive and special context where India's steadfast support has meant for Cyprus to see India as a close partner, and Prime Minister saying that the honor is for billions of Indians back home. And therefore, this honor also takes forward the close partnership between the leaders. We've seen the warmth that they share, but with the sharing of the honor, we also see that the expectations are also going to be higher now. The manner in which the two countries can work together, the bonhomie, the friendship, the close ties, and now the economic possibilities as have been enumerated today. There's a great degree of optimism for the roadmap that has been laid out.
All right. Thank you so much, Shubhendu, for joining us and bringing us the latest straight from Cyprus.